If you're an entrepreneur and you want to own your own business, you really have three choices. One is to start your own business from scratch. The second one is to buy a business that's already existing. And then there's the third one, which is to purchase a franchise. We're just going to look at the disadvantages of franchises here. We have another video on what are the positives and advantages of franchises. But when you get into franchises, there's actually four different kinds. One is a job franchise, another one is an investment franchise, and there's distribution franchises. But the one most people think of is a business format franchise. That's where the franchisor gives you everything you need to start that business, everything from helping you select the location, the equipment, help your hiring processes, manufacturing or distribution processes, training, operational systems, suppliers. Everything you need is all packaged and ready to go. That's what you think of when you see fast food like Wendy's and Panera Bread and Starbucks. Those are franchises of that type, business format franchises, and that's what we're going to cover here. So what are the disadvantages? Well, the first disadvantage is it can be awfully expensive. According to the Business Insider, these are some of the prices to start franchises of the most common business you may be aware of. If you look at Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's $1.4 million to $2.8 million plus a $45,000 annual fee. McDonald's is 1.2 to 2.2 million, $45,000 annual fee. Taco Bell, very similar. Wendy's is 2 million to 3.7 million plus a $50,000 annual fee. So you need some cash right up front in order to start this. In addition, some franchises insist that you keep a certain amount of cash on hand. That can be up to $500,000 or even $1 million. So startup costs are pretty high with most of these franchises. The second thing is if you're an entrepreneur because you want freedom to make your own decisions, maybe franchises aren't the thing for you because they have their own rules, edicts, and regulations on just about everything, from your advertising to your hiring practices to what temperature you cook those French fries. So they're going to prescribe how this business should be done in order for you to succeed. But by prescribing it so specifically, it also takes away a lot of your discretion and your perceived freedom. The next disadvantage is in franchises of this type, business format franchises, you have a tremendous turnover of employees, and that can be really frustrating. The restaurant industry itself says there's probably a 75% employee turnover rate generally in the restaurant industry. When you get into franchises of the fast food, Panera Bread reports that they have 100% turnover in a year. Domino's is over that. It's not unusual to have 150% turnover. So that means you're going to spend a lot of time hiring people and a lot of time training people. And then you have the problems of untrained and new employees and the mistakes that they tend to make. Purchasing a franchise means you get support, but that can vary. Some franchises are really good about helping you with every step of starting your business, while others start out pretty good and then the support tends to fade away. You want to make sure you review that contract to make sure you know exactly how much support you're going to get from the franchise owner in order to run your business. Next thing is contracts aren't permanent. Most franchise contracts are for a specific time period, and you want to look at that time period in the contract because they can cancel at the end of that term. And if they do, what are you going to do with that property? And you don't have a franchise for that restaurant anymore. The other thing is they could change the clauses in the contract to renew it. So read the contract very carefully in terms of how long it's for and what are the constraints that you're under. And then the last one is sometimes selling a franchise business can be difficult because it has to be approved by the franchise owner. So there are some real disadvantages from startup costs to handling high turnover. That said, you're also buying into some real advantages. And I recommend you look at our other video on the advantages of franchises to understand those. Good luck.